Hey, we back. This is
Yay.
Red Pill Astrology. We back, y'all. We are
Yes.
back for another live. And this time we are talking about April.
Yo, time's flying.
And at the same time, I feel like some days are just, can we go a little faster? Thanks.
Exactly. It's very interesting. I was having a conversation today with one of my students and very similar energy, like similar thoughts.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a very interesting juxtaposition. And I think, in my opinion, I think we can thank our outer planets and them transitioning signs last month. And we are here to talk about a whole new month, not just a new month, a new quarter. We are starting a new quarter of 2023 as we head into April. And we're talking about what we have. We have 2 ingresses and 1 lunation to talk about today because we are solely focused on April 1st through the 10th. And let's just set stage. Who are we? What do we do? And how can you find us and get connected with us? Do you want to start?
Yeah, I'm Simone with Ripples in the Matrix. If you don't know, now you know. You can find me on everything. Most active on Instagram, so definitely check me out there. Ripples in the Matrix is all my stuff. Ripples in the Matrix.
It's right there.
And there you go. And there's my link tree, and it's all there. So based in Las Vegas and born and raised in LA. What about you?
Me, a child of the world, born and raised overseas. I am Maloney Adams with Habitual Sages, dropping that right there. So all of these links you'll find obviously in the chat. We are live, by the way, to Twitter. I don't know if you know that, but we're on Twitter live too.
Hi, Twitter.
Hi, Twitter. This is also just recorded live on YouTube. So everything will be in the description box on YouTube at the end, as well as then in the live chat during the stream.
And then very soon we will try Instagram and merge it all.
I'm super excited to begin to figure that out. And then collectively together, we make up Red Pill Astrology. Woohoo! And this is what we do. We Red Pill Astrology 2023 all and beyond. We're just going to give it to you real. So our structure for what we do now, and I'm putting just the Red Pill Astrology as well as our daily dose, which we'll talk about throughout this and then at the end. But what we do here is we break up each month into thirds, and we specifically only focus on lunations, ingresses, and then we are finally this month going to have our first conversation around retrogrades. But day-to-day aspects, that is reserved for our daily dose capsule and the community that we are building in there. So if you want more information, that is where you need to go. If you want daily, that's where you need to go.
Exactly. One place, 2 viewpoints. Actually, we both have Gemini energy within us, so we actually have more than 2 viewpoints as we start to drop in and tap in. And, we work to bridge the gap so that you don't have to, look to 5 different sites and, 10 different books. Like, we are your resource. So super excited about that and seeing how it's all building out. So would love to see some new energy and inside the capsule. But let's get started.
Yeah. So we've got Mercury ingressing into Taurus, Venus ingressing into Gemini, and we have this Libra full moon, which I'm actually really excited to talk about. Yeah. Which one do you want to tackle first? Yeah. Last time we went in order, I'm going to let you choose.
Well, now I'm like, let's just go in order. So let's do Mercury into Taurus. So Mercury is our mental energy, how we think, how we process information. And yes, so 4/3. So that is a Monday for us here in the States. Yep. 11:22 a.m. Central, 9:22 a.m. Love the 22s Pacific. And with Taurus, this can start to result in, we have to remember, Taurus is a fixed earth, the first earth sign of the zodiac. So we can get a little bit stagnant in our thinking. We can get a little bit not, it's our way or the high, or whatever way that we decide not, or the highway.
Whatever way this is telling me needs to only be the way.
Correct. Stubborn energy, hooves in the ground. It's the ox energy. But so since it is the ox, we have hardworking. But the mind might be moving a little bit slower. So I'm actually interested to see. I didn't check yet how long in comparison, because Mercury is one of our fastest moving personal planets unless it's retrograde. And when it's in Aries, he's pretty quick. So but he has a retrograde.
He has a retrograde here. Says like he's going to be here for a minute.
So we're good. So this is very earthy.
Yeah.
This is very fixed earthy.
And Mercury's retrogrades will be in Earth this year until we get to the very end. And we'll talk about that. That's actually already pre-scheduled. You can go ahead and notify me on YouTube for that. We'll talk about that when we get to the end of the month, because that's when he's going to be doing his retrograde. But this is really the time, like these first initial weeks can really give you that flavor of what Mercury in Taurus is going to be doing, because he's not alone in Taurus right now. He's got a lot of company in Taurus, and he's going to continue to have company as he's doing this little retrograde back and forth. And it's pretty dynamic.
And this little dance that he's doing. So let's just see. I mean, I'm going to jump for a second because
please.
So when we look at this, he is going to go retrograde. He will be going retrograde at 15 degrees. And that's with him 1, 2, how many days is that? Like 18 days in. I feel like that's like him moving slow. That's a slow moving, even direct Mercury. So just knowing that your mental processing might be a little bit slower, but know that it's likely going to be accurate. Like there's going,
Keep going. Yeah, I'm sorry. Keep going. I'm looking up the ephemeris real quick.
So there's going to be like this accurate energy of, which is why we can get stubborn and stuck in our ways, because there's this energy. Well, I know that I'm right, or with what I know right now, I am right. And I know that I'm right based on what I know. So it's a lovely loop that we started to go through.
And just to touch back on this slowness of Mercury. So not only does he station retrograde at 15 degrees, but as he retrogrades, he only goes back to 553. And that then happens in May, and he'll then start to move forward. But even that is a very 10 fucking degrees.
Yeah.
He's slow right now.
Earth, it's density and it's Taurus energy. You have to think about too. Like, I feel like he's not just moving through. Yes, he's moving through fixed Earth, but like right now in this time that we are recording this, and today we have the Uranus-Venus conjunction, and that's at 16 degrees. So he's like, wait a minute, before I get there, let me make sure that like my back end is clean. Like the back of the house has to get together. Let's keep making sure that we are on track, and then I will be prepared and ready for whatever information
is going to come out of all of that.
Yeah.
And what's going to happen between now and plus we have to talk. I mean, this is all part of that eclipse conversation too. Right. And when the eclipses start in April, and just to give a little level set, like April's, again, beginning of Q2, it's eclipse season starts in April. So that's a big thing. All planets are direct until Mercury goes retrograde on 4/21. And this is our first conversation with planets, their first activation of Saturn in Pisces and Pluto in Aquarius. So these are like brand new. The new is here. We got all of this new potential available. And Mercury is really, really busy right now. And he is like, again, it's trudging. I keep getting like sludge. Like it's just like, I know I can move it. It can move. It just takes a lot of effort and energy to move.
Yeah. I keep getting this like cardinal start, stop. Like, okay, that was good. Got that done. Now I need a break from what I just did. Like mental break, physical break, because you have to remember right now being in Aries season still, the body is getting, even if the body isn't physically like getting moved, it's moving. Like there's moving parts that are happening. So really just being aware of your energy levels, what needs to take priority, what doesn't, I feel like we will be able to better conquer our task list. I wonder what a list is. We're gonna have to look it up. Our task list. Once. Well, maybe, okay, I'll take it on the 3rd. We'll take it on the 3rd. We'll give us a little preview. We'll do a little benefit of the doubt. We'll give Mercury and Taurus some due diligence.
Yeah. And there's something with this, because again, Taurus is that first earth sign, and it is all about planting your seeds. This, for the Northern Hemisphere, is the time to plant. It's the time to repot. It's the time to resoil. It's
depending
the time
on your weather. If it's cold, 100%. You shouldn't actually be repotting.
That is facts.
I was concerned about your plants.
No, it was actually nice and warm. So it's this moment of beginning to plant these seeds for harvest and all of that. And it's this planning of the future phase. And there is so much happening right now. There is so much conversation. There is so much movement. There's so much of the new. We've got all of this kind of noise that I keep getting this instinct to really pay attention to what Mercury's doing when he ingresses and through this earth sign, because this could set up a lot of what you're going to experience as Mercury goes through the other earth signs through the year. And there's something that Mercury has, and it could be really easily missed.
Yeah. And I think based on what you just mentioned, I think it would be good to also look back and see what was going on in the last Mercury retrograde, like a little bit when we started the year too, for you, like just personally, because that imprinted the Earth retrogrades of Mercury. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. So yeah, okay. Well, I guess we will get there. Maybe we won't even have to talk about that when we talk about it, but yeah. So we have Mercury going in April 3rd, and then so that means let's just give a level set. He won't be moving out of Taurus until. Do you happen to have that date like in the? Oh, my shit stopped. I ordered my next. You guys, Honeycomb.
Shout out to Honeycomb.
We need to ask them so that they can sponsor us. We'll be
1,000%. Honestly, this takes your astrology game to the next level. You don't even need to be like an active, like I coach and help people with astrology, just in your own astrology and your own work within that. It is game effing changer. June 12th.
Great. Yeah.
Yep.
So we got a minute, which is great. Like, I think that's actually great for our mental processing, because then he's going to have to go and like he's going to have to go revisit what Mars just fucked up in Gemini. So when he makes his homecoming. Yeah. Yeah.
And I actually had that down too. Like, be prepared to revisit things. And that also goes for right now, because we are still, because it's not 4/3 yet, we are still in this Aries energy.
Yeah.
And there could be a lot that you're being shown, given. We've got Jupiter here. There could be a lot of like multiple things coming at you, and just be prepared. It's not meaning that it will, but be prepared that whatever you choose, you may have to go back and either make a different choice, change the process of your choice, change how it's developing as Mercury gets into Taurus and starts to like bring it into the earth, bring it into your physical, and then retrograde. So there could just be adjustments that are needed, and it's good to prepare for that.
Yeah, new information coming in that will help you to reassess the situation, for sure.
Yes.
For sure. All right, this Libra full moon.
Yay. Okay, let me get this in here for the chat. For those that are live with us, feel free to throw things in the chat. We got the chat up. I am monitoring right now.
Just so you know.
We're doing the things.
You know. I'm just letting
all
you
right.
know that. Yes.
You want to level set on this Libra full moon, give the deets and what your thoughts are. And then I'll pull up the, we even have a whole new feature. I'm going to pull up the chart.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather see the chart and we can talk about it.
Bam. There you go. Let me pull this out for you.
So yeah, the 5th of April, 9:34 p.m. Pacific time, 11:34 p.m. Central. So kind of adjust. I mean, it's just great. So when we have a full moon, we have the sun and the moon opposite each other, and the moon is in Libra at 16 degrees, 7 minutes, with the sun over there at 16 degrees, 7 minutes. If I'm not mistaken, this is like one of the final 16-degree moons, full moons that we are coming up on, after having, I feel like we had like 8 to 10 or 7 to 10 at 16 degrees. So super interesting, culminating right before eclipse season starts, setting the stage to have the nodes shift. 16 degrees is where we're having the Uranus and Venus conjunction today. 16 degrees, and granted, not in the same sign, but 16 degrees is where we had the Uranus-Saturn square. So this 16-degree energy in general in your chart is always something within the last, I'd say, 2 years, maybe 2.5, that was likely very prevalent in some regard. And I feel like this anchor point here that we're looking at between the 3-degree Saturn, 5-degree Mars, anchoring into our north node. I mean, it's just like, it is like fucking just keep fucking going, man. Like,
yeah.
Keep going. Like this beautiful, you guys, this is the first time I'm looking at the chart. So
there's like a kite, and it's almost like let the air lift you and like go fly your kite. Like,
and the kite has nothing to do with the moon, which is beautiful. Right. It's like it has everything to do with where you're headed. And whatever we are moving through, whatever you are moving through personally in this full moon, the sun is going to be shining a light on it. The sun will have just the day before crossed over, and maybe actually not even the day, like a few little bit before, crossed over Chiron. And Chiron is the wounded healer, when the thing that we need to be healing this in this current moment collectively, with Chiron and Aries really working into our ego assertion, our pride, well, not our pride, but our passion, our temper, our inner child, the one who wants to throw a temper tantrum, and really refining our sense of self, our self-identity, who we are showing up as, how we are showing up in the world, like physical embodiment, physical appearances. Just got the message that dropped in, been very interesting now about physical appearances and what you are choosing to be or not be. Red Pill Astrology, hopefully you can understand where we're at.
Dropping right away.
So, but then there's like a sense of reality that has to settle in as well.
Thank you, Saturn.
And that, yes, and this dichotomy here with Saturn trining Mars of like we're moving in purpose. Like this is all purpose. This is all passion. This is all like our passion is our purpose, and that is moving us forward deeper, more into our purpose, and acknowledging what it is that we have to let go of. Because what's great about this is I love that the sun, it's like, okay, just had a little bit before having this conversation with Chiron, illuminating to Chiron what it has to do, to what it needs to let go of, what it has, like this new energy that like, hey, here you are now. Like Chiron, you're at halfway through your journey through Aries at the moment. He's trucking. He's trudging. He's the one trudging. And then it's like, then here's this full moon. Here's this energy with the dichotomy of sense of self, Aries, with your relationship with others, Libra. Who are you being in relationship to others that is not in alignment with your actual sense of self? And then we have a little bit under 4 days later, exactly moving the sun conjuncting Jupiter, which is always a fucking jubilant and joyous. Like those are the words that are coming in abundant time. So it's like,
yes,
like let it like just, and I am so over like, and I feel like it's just the most overused phrase with the full moon, and everyone says it every fucking month, but like, yeah, let it go. Like especially recently right now, the past couple months, and I'd say since the beginning of 2023, like the moon cycles in myself, like I'm always doing this work. And like my work with my clients and things like that. So it's like I'm always in the thick of the astrology. And do I have the awareness for sure of what's going on with me astrologically and how the moons are affecting me? Yeah. But like it wasn't really until this year that things really at these lunations, full moon and new moon, things are really starting to like be in alignment with those. And not to say that like it just is what it is. And one can also know that like I am not one to place a huge emphasis on lunation cycles. We can look into like the matrix of the moon and how, how much focus and energy and attention we put on this lovely thing that is interesting to kind of dive into if you choose to red pill yourself and go down that rabbit hole. So, really just, but having the awareness that it is an energy system and it is something that we do work with, and that knowing that like, okay, so what are you choosing to look at? Yep. And then what truth do you want to make that for yourself? And how is that going to be applying to you? Yeah.
That was
great.
Wonderful.
I don't know. That was.
No, that was a great synopsis. I will color on top, just so that way everybody that is looking at the chart or hearing this afterwards. So Chiron, when we talk about, okay, this is a Libra full moon, the sun is conjunct Chiron, which you see here, but that also means it's opposing the moon. So there's a whole other.
Can you like point on here for them so that they can see?
Can you see my
yes.
Oh, look at this. Well, now I can't see
Look at, there's a draw button. Go see if you can click draw.
Up here?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, is this right here?
Yep. Amazing.
Yes.
Look. You got it. Look at this.
Here we grow. Here we grow. So this is Chiron right here. This is the glyph for Aries. This is the glyph for Libra, where the moon is. And so Chiron is conjunct the sun, but it's also opposing the moon. And the other thing, and this just depends upon your astrology practice, who you follow as an astrologer. To me, the sun is also conjunct Jupiter. It's a 4-degree orb. Most people will go to a 3-degree, but Jupiter is on fire right now and has been super duper duper activated. To me, I still think that Jupiter has a part of this conversation that he is playing in. So I think
activated.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like when this is totally the image that's coming, when the sun is rising and it's light out. So Jupiter still has light to him, but that full like beam of the sun hasn't yet reached his being. It's like the shadows are just slowly creeping away and the sun's slowly moving to like just full body illuminate Jupiter and all of his glory. And that's, again, what did you say? 5 days, I think?
Well, 4.
4 days for the sun to get to then Jupiter. Yeah. So the other piece that I wanted to talk about with this was the moon's ruler, which is Venus right here. She is in Taurus, also in her rulership, having an awesome time. And guess what she's doing? She is making this awesome sextile, which you can find right here, to this beautiful planet called Neptune in Pisces. And this sextile
both of
to
them
me,
are home too.
right?
Both
Thank
of them
you.
are home. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're very home. They're very comfortable, and they are. This was where I got my like phrase for this moon, which, and I want to get it right. So, come back to your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
That's the phrase that I was getting for this moon, because this moon, with Chiron present here, it is a lot about humbling. It is a lot about accepting yourself. It is about understanding that Chiron is your key. You can see it looks like a key to your self-actualization. And that's what we're working towards, right? Like we are working towards this node right here and this self-actualization. What do we need to thrive, survive in our physical world, with that being in Taurus? So with this Venus and Neptune, it's like all of this noise has come up. You've gotten some yeses with this conversation with Mercury. You probably got some no's. And now it's just time to come back and be grounded. Like, okay, so what do I now need? What do I need to kind of complete all of this? It's like Chiron is blazing, as we're moving forward, Chiron's helping us balance our fear, because this is the moon in Libra. It's all about balance. Balancing our overconfidence with Jupiter here, balancing our stability with Venus in our home sign. So it's like all of these different pieces of this kite, so that way you can soar. Your dreams can take off. So if there is a little bit, if this for you feels a little like unbalanced,
lofty,
great word. Those are the things that you can come back to your dreams, come back to your vision, come back to your values, come back to your goals, and then stand in that and then act accordingly. And again, it is that mixture of Aries and Taurus. So it's not acting on immediateness. It's getting the information and then acting intelligently, acting in power, and not like a quick reaction to a yes, or a quick reaction to an email you just got.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said as well, as to be aware of the shadow side of Libra, which is people pleasing. And a really big form of people pleasing is actually manipulation. And that manipulation can come as a form of you like essentially being a chameleon, and you determining, okay, this person wants this from me without you even asking. So you actually have no fucking idea. You are assuming based on previous conditioning that is what that person or situation is wanting from you. You adjust yourself accordingly, and then you sit there and play the victim because you didn't get what you wanted or what you needed, but yet you didn't ask for what it was that you wanted or needed. And actually you don't even know what you want or need, because you are totally giving your power away, and you are giving it to the other person who isn't even asking for it. But then you are like, but where am I in all this? And this is why I love the axis of Libra and Aries, because the Aries sense of self and the strong energy that it has and provides, and how I always say it. I always fucking say it. They know no fucking better. Aries has no other awareness of anyone that's come before them, because of the first sign of the zodiac, and they sure as fuck act as though it's only them. It's the Aries show. It's like, and I feel like most fire signs, I can say Sag is a little less, like Sag is more refined, but Leo is similar, more so.
Yes.
Yes. Sag is more,
and also fixed.
Correct. And Sag has more of like that, like just a deep, like a intelligent, not that neither of those are. Anyway, I'm going to digress. But there's a sense of, with Aries, it's a very yeah. And like, I'm just like, you're not with me. Okay. Well, I'm going, and this is where I'm going. I'm blazing the trail. You'll be able to follow the flames, but it would be a lot easier if you just come with me instead of trying to trail behind the flames, because then you might just catch yourself on fire and then be mad that I'm burning you when I was trying to have you come with me, but you can't keep up. So like, and it's a similar, not a similar, but it's a different, but it's like, it's when they have when they get questioned, when they get, pushback, that's when that the passion turns into temper, and it's like, hold on, no, like it's a Taurus. It's like the prelude to Taurus, but Taurus is a little less less fiery. Taurus just is stubborn.
It's not snappy. It's more internal in the Taurus, where I feel that, and it's gonna come out if you keep pushing that button.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like Taurus is like silent killer, and Aries is like, I have the fucking gun, it's in my hand, and like, here it is.
We're good. So flamethrower activate.
Yeah. So and then I did want to touch on too as well, Mercury here, 3 degrees conjunct the North Node.
If I can, is there a way, can I like, oh, look at all of this. Okay, well, let's go back to draw. So this is Mercury right here.
Yeah, Mercury conjunct the North Node, which is at 5 degrees. Mercury is at 3 degrees. The nodes always travel backwards. I think it's interesting that what is that? I
just wanted to draw a conjunct. It's the glyph for, I just wanted to draw. We're here.
What is that? Whoa, what's going on in my chart? Actually, there's a lot going on. Anyway, so I think it's interesting that Mercury will be going, starting its retrograde energy at 5 degrees. So this is a
retrograde starts at 15 but comes back to 5. So he's going to come back to this point.
Yeah, so his shadow. He enters his shadow.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Yep, I get what you're saying now. I am aligned. I am with you.
Okay. Yeah. It's like the Pluto. I didn't say Pluto. Yeah, so with that, apologies, clearly, guys, you're probably like, this chick. Yeah, I don't know, something's going on. Snappy. But I mean, Aries energy. I'm actually a Libra sun, so we're great. But way beyond this, way before this. Anyway, so I think that there's clearly a message that's coming in. I feel like the main energy here keeps pointing me to the North Node because of the kite that's actually being formed. But I feel like that kite is only being it is. That is the energy. We just happen to have a fucking full moon. Like the kite is what we should be like really focusing on. And this is like, that kite is like not like it's the finger of God, and you're getting pointed to your path forward. Also, this could end up being some sort of prelude to the eclipse season even deeper, because we could be having.
I'm just trying to draw out this kite for everyone so that way they can see what we're talking about.
So I think what's interesting is that it is the prelude to the eclipse season. And then the sense of the relationship aspect is what we are working with here with Libra and Aries. Can you draw the line in the middle?
I can.
Bam. I know, Simone knows what she wants now. So
we're just ma'am.
Mars Capricorn first house is back. So with this, like there could be some sense of releasing of relationships that are not in alignment as we prepare for eclipse season, and or whatever's going on for eclipse season, just in general, to be aware of relationships of all kinds and forms not making it through, and know that that's purposeful. I think this chart, this energy is a prelude heavy for eclipse season, because the axis shifting, the nodes shifting, and not just this eclipse season, but the one further moving forward in Libra.
Yeah, the last half of the year. And it is this transition, like when you had talked about the, like this moon, it's almost like the moon came into the conversation as almost a way to balance the kite, because we're soaring, we're flying, we are moving. And it's almost like that moon was just provided there to just stabilize the air so the kite can soar and begin to go directly where it needs to go.
We have to mention, and I think it's great because that is in that earth energy. And we have to mention the fact that Mars and Saturn, the two that are holding the opposite ends of the kite, are in water signs, and Mars in cardinal water, Saturn in the final sign of the zodiac. And Mars in cardinal water is not really, he's not just moving through like our emotional state. He's moving through our energetic state. He's recalibrating our system. He just went through recalibrating our mental 7-ish months in Gemini. And now he doesn't want to be here, but he's like, fuck it. I have this support from Saturn. What do you need me to be doing? Like, I just feel like he's at this like space of surrender. And because he's surrendering, like our gifts are able to come in. The spiritual gifts that Saturn and Pisces is wanting to provide, as well as Neptune here in Pisces is really wanting to give us. We are having so much opportunity to really tap into, to activate our spiritual gifts, our psychic abilities, because the reason why we associate Cancer with our emotions, yes, it's the moon and all of that, but it's because our emotions are actual feelings, and those feelings are for us personally, and those feelings our feelings, intuition, they're one and the same. And as we really work with those two things, that is showing us like, okay, when we trust our intuition more, our psychic abilities, if you choose to step into them, get activated more. And because of that, then now you're starting to get that unlocks this new level, this new part of you that can now start to come in, because you're clearing the shit out that doesn't need to be in the space. And you're moving the energy out of the thinking mind and into the actual body, and letting your body get, I mean, there's a dichotomy there, because you have to be aware, like make sure that you are centered and grounded when you are getting these messages, and you are trusting your intuition. And like the only way that you can trust your intuition is to develop the trust with it by actually using it, and then moving forward with the information that comes through. So if that information comes through and then you don't listen to it, and then something bad happens, then now you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I should have listened to my intuition. So all of that to say, I don't fucking know where that went, but just to say, like listen beyond your ears, beyond your actual ears, see beyond your actual two eyes, like feel into what is coming in for you, and let that be your movement, because Mars is moving that within you so that he can then move. He's our movement. He's our drive. He's our assertion. He's our motivation. He's the Aries ruler, which is another reason why we need to look at this, is because he's the one ruling the sun. And then, which is interesting, because now he's in the sign that rules the moon. So he's actually having the bridge between both the sun and the moon, and he's just over here fucking like flying the kite, literally. Like, anyway.
And I love the head of this kite, because the head of the kite is in Taurus. This is Taurus.
Right. Grounding.
And not just the grounding too, but everything that you said about strengthening your spiritual gifts that Saturn's is going to be bringing in. But then how do you apply, receive, ground, but into the physical? So yeah, everything happens in the 5D before it can ever happen in the 3D. And it's this almost like the process of flying that kite of taking the information because you're listening, you're activated, you're able to receive, you have that faith, you have that, and then being able to bring it and settle it in, because Jupiter is going to very quickly end up in Taurus. And that's his big woo-ha for the rest of this year. And that can bring
our big woo-ha, guys.
That is true too. And I mean, and so this can be that like start of that, where then all of a sudden Jupiter comes in and it takes what you already started planting and it essentially like, you know, hyper activates your seeds, and then boom, they just start going.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing this. The only other thing that I had on the moon that I just wanted to talk with that Libra and Aries axis was around if you like, I had something around like being alone, because that's a very Aries Libra thing. You're actually not alone. You actually do have, there are people out there like that understand that have been through things that have do the work.
Yourself and I. Are you kidding? Like, you are literally never alone.
You are never alone.
I got lots going on in here. No, but yeah.
Right. And there is. And if you're like, man, I feel like I'm the only one that is experiencing X. Yes, lonely. It's, you will be that way until you choose to stand in your power and be willing to own who you are, own your own truth, own the choices that you've made. Because that's where you open up and you begin to find that tribe. You begin to expand. And that's that gift of Libra. And when we start moving into these eclipses, I think that that's going to be for some part of the conversation.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's what I said.
All right. Venus in Gemini. Look, aligned. That's what we're here. All right. Venus in Gemini. Let me show that. Boom. So April 10th, 11:47.
Fun. Venus loves to be in Gemini. She has such a great time.
She's so flirty.
She's so flirty. She's like going to all the parties. She wants to do all the things. We think about the time. It's hopefully the weather does something fantabulous so we can like be outside and have a great time.
And she's super chatty. Like this could be you literally spend 5 hours on the phone. Oh yeah. Yes. 100%. And I put down like, this is one of those moments where you spend 5 hours on the phone with somebody and you're like, oh my God, we spent 5 hours on the phone. Like this is awesome. And I feel so good now.
Yeah.
That's this Venus in Gemini. There's a bit of superficiality with Venus and Gemini where she's very surface level. You're not going to get into the depths of her soul. You're not going to you're going to get the butterfly, the social side. You're going to get the wings, the pretty wings, but you're not going to get to know the process that she went through to get those wings. Mm-hmm. That's not what it is.
She's going to be the one asking the questions, figuring you out. She's going to be, I mean, trying new things with the appearance, with the mind, and see how that changes things in the mental. She's going to be finding new information about what she wants to do with her appearance. This could be this is when you go shopping as well for summer, for clothes or whatever. Who do I want to be?
Yeah.
Who do I want to be? Who do I want to be shown up as? You won't know who you're going to get. You're not going to really know which part of who you are getting when you you're going to be dude, you were super chill, calm, and collected. And then now you're this 2 days later, you're who the fuck is this? So Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde energy. Also be aware of your spending habits because she can be very frivolous here.
Very loose. Just woo-hoo. I like that. No, that's a good thing. Just loose
but also,
purse strings.
Yeah. Also, The multiplicity of lovers here, or like a bunch of friends coming into town, visitors, wanting to take trips, and close trips, because Gemini is not far travel, but this could be like,
like a staycation.
Yeah, you're not leaving the country, but you might be like traveling to one state over, or you might just be traveling to like the next town or whatever, getting out of Dodge for a second and going to like, oh, I haven't been to Disneyland in a while. Let me just go there. Yeah. Whatever. Like, so, and then a seen and be seen is the energy that's like.
I love that. And also there's a,
did you guys also see like how the energy shifted?
Yeah.
Talking about this? I do that. That's interesting. I have a Gemini moon.
I notice it in every live that I've ever done, and in our lives, like as we begin to talk about certain things, it's like, okay, we like emulate that energy signature. Consistency is also a thing for a Venus and Gemini mode. It's there's no thing. That's the thing. And you've really got to, again, this is why we talk about things and we prepare, is when this transit happens, there could be a bunch of things that you are handling, doing. We've got this kite. There's all of this Aries energy. There's so much happening. And you're, depending upon where this might show up in your natal chart or how Venus works with you, in your own being, it's like that consistency could provide a little level of challenge. And is that, again, with Mercury, knowing that at the end of the month, Mercury is going to be going retrograde in Venus's home sign, it might be a great time to up that consistency a little bit and make sure that that's not impacting the things that you're working on and towards.
Yeah, hopefully Mercury takes the lead.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're in each other's signs, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they can have these, like mutual conversations where Mercury's like, yo, sis, tell me what the F is happening. And she can go, bro, I am having a struggle fucking city right now. So.
And I think there's something to be aware of as well collectively in the financial world.
Yes.
With this Gemini energy of things shifting, changing, new information coming in about, did you hear about today?
No, I haven't been on anything yet, so I'm excited. Oh boy. Okay, we're obviously going to be testing after this.
Russia's going to use China's currency.
God, I love Pluto and Aquarius.
Yeah, it's just happening, Pluto and Aquarius.
And thank you, Uranus. Can we give a shout out, which I know like this, we just talked about this whole 16 degrees. This is high Saturn Uranus squares. Like, hello, Pluto and Aquarius. This is
Venus and Uranus conjunct, and here we are.
It's so good. It is so good. Like, we are so blessed.
Sit here and say that, like, I had a conversation with someone trying to like trying to knock my business plan, my business model, and my business plan, and I'm like, y'all just don't fucking know. Like, you just don't want to. You don't want to know. You don't want to believe that this is actually that accurate. I just had I didn't even get to tell you. I just had a recap with a different client that I did a transit chart reading for, and she's like, to the T, to the date of things that aligned with, of course, but of course, right?
But of course, yeah,
it's so
expected.
Yeah,
like that's expected.
Yeah. Like all I could do was like heart exclamation point, like
and here we are. Like, this is great.
Yeah.
Okay. So to wrap up, we want to give one more shout out and just talk real quick about the daily dose. Cause let me go ahead and just join the daily dose, y'all. Link will obviously be in the description box, but this is our capsule. And this is where you can get the day-to-day aspect conversations. So not only is there ours, not only is there like aspect conversations because we cover the exact aspects in this capsule, but we also we drop in their news stories. So it gets really red pilled. So if that is of interest to you, if that ooh, that's exciting. Tell me more about that. The daily dose is where we do that. We've got pictures. It's, I also do readings. I do a tarot reading for the moon. So I'll be actually handling the Libra moon tarot reading for the daily dose this weekend. So
they're amazing.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much. But that is, I mean, that is where it's at. And honestly, it's, what did it come out to? $33 a month?
37.
Oh my God, $37 a month. Stop. You can stop. That is where it's at. Everybody needs to get in the daily dose. That's
it's actually
PSA.
Ridiculously a steal.
I love it. The last thing that we will say is we appreciate everybody who either joined us live or is going to be watching this replay. We love doing this. This is it fills my cup. I don't know about you. I'm assuming it's the same.
Oh, it's so
however, we also want to share with the community. We want to have this community grow. So please make sure to subscribe on our YouTube channel, turn on alerts, share, let people know, pass it along. If you do follow in any of our other social media apps, give us a shout out, and we love talking.
Yeah.
We repost. Yes.
We talk back.
We do. We are real people. We're humans. We are in this human experience with you. So let's make it enjoyable.
Yes. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us, and we will catch you soon for
the next one. Hold on, I'll tell you. Yeah, I don't remember where it is, but it is in the live section of our YouTube. You can go and hit notify me and you'll be right on it. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.